Spring practice is over with, which opens the floodgates to start talking about the Syracuse Orange's actual football opponents for fall 2018. Maybe the rest of you aren't as excited about this fact in April. But I certainly am, so we're doing it. Soo faces another challenging schedule, so this is not going to be easy, even with an improved and/or healthier team. Still, we're looking at the positives wherever possible. Today's foe, Wagner Seahawks School, Wagner College Mascot, Seahawks. Conference, Northeast Conference, NEC, Coach, Jason Hodling, 4th year. Hodling enters his 4th season with an 11-22 record overall, going 9-11 in the NEC. The New York State native first arrived at Wagner in 2006 as a running backs coach before switching to offensive line a year later. He eventually took over as offensive coordinator and helped lead the Seahawks to a conference title in 2012. After a year at Cornell, he came back to Wagner and won another league championship in 2014. He's been the head coach ever since. He's a Binghamton alum, and has a grad degree from Wagner as well. 2017 record, 4-7, 2-4. Recapping last season, Wagner kicked off the season with a 37-7 win over D2 Street Anselm, then dropped the next 3 games, including a 49-14 loss at the hands of Syracuse's 2018 Week 1 opponent Western Michigan. A win over Lehigh briefly stopped the bleeding, then they lost another 3 in a row. The Seahawks won 2 of 3 to end the year to 4 wins and also avoid the NEC cellar. Despite having a coach focused on offense, the team struggled on that side of the ball last season. Wagner scored just 21.3 points per game, and threw for fewer than 1,800 yards. Then junior quarterback Luke Massey completed 58.4% of his throws for 1,371 yards and 7 touchdowns versus 8 interceptions. The Seahawks had 5 different players catch 19 or more passes, but none had more than 33. Darren Wilson, who had 392 yards and 2 scores as well. The run game was a little more capable, however. Ryan Fultz had 1,306 rushing yards, averaged 6 per carry, and 12 touchdowns. Defensively, Wagner allowed 27.6 points per game, but didn't necessarily get run over while doing it. The Seahawks forced 24 turnovers, not bad, and generated a significant pass rush with 34 sacks. Linebacker Quinton Hampton was the star of the defense, notching 82 tackles while collecting 7 sacks and 12 total tackles for loss. Fellow LB Cameron Gill led the team with 11 sacks. 5 other players had at least 3 sacks apiece. 2018 season outlook, things could look pretty positive for Wagner given who's back. The offense returns its leading rusher and passer, and the offensive line actually has quite a bit of veteran talent as well. 3 of the top 5 pass catchers also return, including Wilson, who also missed 2 games last year. Massey, who also missed a game last year, should improve as a senior. And if he can't, sophomore Donald Glenn is really the only other QB with experience. The Seahawks return all 3 linebackers, who were the top tacklers on the team in 2017, something that on its own could put them among the top teams in the NEC standings. Along with those players, Santoni Graham is also back to provide additional linebacker depth. Wagner's 2 best defensive backs, Sterling Lowry and Timoni Johnson, return as well. Lowry's actually a Syracuse product himself, having attended Nottingham High School. Wagner has a tough schedule ahead this fall, with 7 road games, including 4 of the first 6 contests and the final 2 as well. They'll face 2 of the NEC's top 3 teams from last year, Central Connecticut State and Bryant, away from home. Road dates against Syracuse and Montana State obviously won't help matters either. Syracuse game date, Saturday, September 8th. Location, Carrier Dome, Syracuse, New York. Odds of Orange victory, 98%. Very early outlook, even if Wagner ends up being one of the NEC's top teams, that's still very unlikely to close the talent gap between these 2 programs. See last year's game against NEC champs ECSU. Syracuse has walked through these FCS opponents since Dino Babers took over, and I'd expect the same against the Seahawks, especially with a week to shake the rust off beforehand. Soo should be able to put up 40 to 50 points without much trouble here.